The morning rain had just eased, leaving the small valley wrapped in mist and the scent of damp earth. The clouds hung low and heavy, but in their softness was a kind of quiet promise, the kind that comes after hardship, when the world exhales and begins again. Diep stood in front of her small cart, adjusting the last basket of corn. The stalks still glistened with rainwater, their golden silk gleaming faintly under the gray light. She wiped her forehead with the back of her hand, her breath visible in the cool morning air. Behind her, little Nhi sat on a wooden stool, swinging her short legs, her tiny boots tapping against the wheel spokes. Her laughter, bright and clear, felt like a spark against the muted landscape. "Ready to go, sweetheart?" Diep asked, brushing a damp strand of hair from her face. Nhi nodded eagerly. "We're going to Grandma Huyen's, right?" Diep smiled, warmth lighting her features. "Yes. And today, we'll give her a special surprise." The road to Mrs. Huyen's house wound through flooded fields and narrow, muddy paths. Every step sank slightly into the wet ground, leaving behind faint footprints that the next rainfall would surely erase. But Diep didn't mind. The journey, though long, felt purposeful. Beside her, Nhi hummed softly, skipping over puddles and sending droplets into the air like tiny diamonds. "Careful, Nhi, it's slippery," Diep warned. "I'm fine," the girl chirped, giggling as she steadied herself. For a while, their voices and laughter were the only sounds in the quiet countryside. After nearly an hour, the familiar outline of Mrs. Huyen's gate appeared through the mist, wooden, weathered, and partly covered in vines. Time had peeled away its paint, but not its spirit. Something inside Diep stirred, a blend of nostalgia and gratitude. She remembered her first visit here, nervous, unsure of her place in James's family. But now, she was no longer a stranger, she was home. "Grandma." Nhi called, her small voice bright against the damp air. From inside came a reply, firm yet affectionate. "Nhi? Is that you, my dear?" The gate creaked open, and there she was, Mrs. Huyen, her gray hair tied neatly back, her apron still dusted with flour. Her face broke into a radiant smile. "Oh my goodness, you two came in this weather. Quick, quick, come in before you catch a cold." Nhi rushed into her grandmother's arms, giggling. Diep followed, bowing politely. "It's been a while, Mom. We brought some corn from the farm. The rain ruined a few, but these are still good." Mrs. Huyen's eyes softened. "You never come empty-handed." "Let me carry those." "No, please," Diep interrupted gently. "I've got it." Inside, the small house felt warm and lived in, the faint aroma of herbal tea mixed with the earthy smell of old wood. The steady bubbling of soup on the stove filled the air like a heartbeat. As Diep set the baskets down, Mrs. Huyen chuckled. You didn't need to bring so much. I've missed your visits more than the corn. Diep smiled, hesitating for a moment before speaking. Actually, I brought something special today. She reached into her bag, pulling out a small box wrapped in cream paper and tied with a delicate ribbon. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from emotion. Mom, she said softly. This is for you. Mrs. Huyen blinked in surprise. For me? What is it? Diep placed the box gently in her hands. Just something I wanted you to have. The older woman untied the ribbon slowly. Inside lay a Louis Vuitton handbag, its smooth leather glowing beneath the soft kitchen light. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Diep? Mrs. Huyen whispered. This must have cost a fortune. It's around $20,000, Diep admitted with a shy laugh. But it's not about the money. You've done so much for NHI and me. You welcomed us when you didn't have to. I wanted to give you something meaningful, something that says thank you. Emotion trembled in the older woman's eyes. You silly girl, she said, voice catching. You didn't have to do this. Seeing you both happy is more than enough for me. NHI tugged at her grandmother's sleeve, eyes wide. Grandma, it's so pretty. You can wear it to the market. Mrs. Huyen laughed, brushing away a tear. Oh, this child, you always know how to make me smile. Diep exhaled quietly, relief washing through her. She'd worried the gift might be too much, too extravagant. But now she saw only love reflected in Mrs. Huyen's face. They sat down together, sipping hot tea as the rain returned, soft, rhythmic, almost like music. The oil lamp cast a gentle glow, painting the room in amber and gold. You know, Mrs. Huyen began, James talks about you too often. He worries about the farm, about you working too hard. Diep smiled faintly. The floods hurt us again this year, but we'll manage. I just don't want him to worry. He worries because he loves you, Mrs. Huyen said simply. Don't shut him out when things get hard. Sharing burdens, that's what marriage is. Diep chuckled. You sound just like him. Well, he got it from me, the older woman said, grinning. Their laughter mingled with the soft patter of rain, a warmth no storm could touch. By evening, the sky had darkened again. NHI had fallen asleep on her grandmother's lap, a half-eaten ear of corn still in her hand. Diep watched them, her chest tightening with tenderness. Mom, she whispered, thank you, for treating NHI like your own. Mrs. Huyen brushed the child's hair gently. NHI is family. Blood doesn't make a family, love does. Deep's eyes shimmered. I'll keep working hard for her, for all of us. Mrs. Huyen smiled softly. Just promise me one thing. No matter how hard life gets, don't lose your kindness. That's your real wealth, Deep. Outside, the rain whispered against the roof, a song of resilience and grace. Hours later, the clock ticked softly in the quiet house. The frogs croaked beyond the fence. The scent of rain and corn husks lingered. Deep sat by the table, cradling her cup of tea. Her mind wandered over the day, the muddy road, the laughter, the gift, the gratitude. Then came the sound of footsteps outside, steady, familiar. The door opened, and James stepped in, drenched from the rain. Deep, he said, relief flooding his face. You're soaked, she gasped. He laughed, setting his umbrella aside. The bridge nearly flooded, but I made it. He glanced around, the glowing lamp, the faint scent of soup, his mother dozing beside their child, and exhaled deeply. Smells like home. Mrs. Huyen stirred. You missed dinner, son. Your wife cooked wonderfully. James smiled at Deep, eyes warm. You didn't rest all day, did you? Deep handed him a towel. You know me too well. As he dried his hair, something caught his eye, the Louis Vuitton bag gleaming softly on the table. Mom, he asked, puzzled, where did you get that? Mrs. Huyen's lips curved in amusement. Ask your wife. Deep hesitated, then smiled nervously. That's my gift to her. James blinked. You bought this? Deep, this must have cost 20,000, his mother said, teasingly proud. James frowned slightly. That's a lot. You didn't have to. Deep reached across the table, placing her hand gently over his. I know, but I wanted to. I used the shop's profit and my small bonus. It's not about proving anything. It's gratitude, to the woman who raised the man I love. Her voice was calm, sincere, not defensive, just real. James sighed softly, the tension in his shoulders melting. You always think of others first, he murmured. Mrs. Huyen chuckled. Don't scold her, James. The gift isn't about luxury. It's about love, and she's given that in abundance. James smiled, his gaze tender. You've already given us enough, Deep, your kindness, your patience, your love for NHI. Deep's lips curved faintly. Maybe I just wanted to remind us all that gratitude shouldn't wait. I wanted to give while I still can. Silence settled, comfortable and deep. Outside, the drizzle softened to a whisper. Mrs. Huyen watched them quietly, her heart full. "You make me proud," she said softly. "Not because of gifts, but because you love each other honestly." James laughed gently. "Still, Mom, maybe save that bag for special occasions." "Oh, don't worry," she grinned. "I'll take it to the market tomorrow." They all burst out laughing, a sound so full and genuine that even NHI stirred in her sleep, mumbling about corn cakes. Later that night, when the others had gone to bed, James and Diep sat on the porch. Fireflies danced in the wet air, their tiny lights blinking like stars. "Diep," James said quietly. "You've done something beautiful today. But promise me something." She tilted her head. "What's that?" "No matter how far we go, or how much we earn, don't lose that heart of yours." "The one that finds joy in giving." Her eyes glimmered. "I promise. But you, don't forget to come home early once in a while." He laughed softly. "Deal." Above them, the clouds parted, and a pale moon emerged. Inside, the Louis Vuitton bag rested beside an old teapot, a symbol of gratitude resting in the simplest of homes. It didn't belong because it was expensive. It belonged because it represented something money could never buy: love freely given, and kindness without expectation. Too Deep looked around her, at the quiet house, the sound of rain fading, the steady heartbeat of her family, and smiled. For the first time in a long while, she knew she was home, and this time, it wasn't just a place. It was a feeling.